Hi there. Well, the federal government came out with their budget and it promises $10 billion to make housing more affordable. It outlines several measures, including things like tax credits for a variety of items and so on. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the bigger items that I see and how it might impact the real estate market. But first, if you find this content helpful in your real estate journey, it would be wonderful if you can help me in my YouTube journey by clicking the subscribe button down below and hitting the like button to this video. So Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government are trying to make good on some of their campaign promises around the issues of housing and affordability. The proposed budget will certainly result in some changes coming to the Canadian real estate market. So, the first proposal is a foreign buyers and speculators ban. The government wants to crack down on foreign buyers and speculators. So, they're proposing a 2-year ban on foreign buyers to purchase residential properties. Well, if you're from BC, you might recall that back in August 2016, the BC government implemented a foreign buyers tax for parts of the city, and then they expanded it to include more parts of BC, like around Kelowna, a few years later. This was done to curb the problem of foreign buyers buying homes and making it less affordable for those who work and live here in BC. So this has always been a very hot button topic because people blamed foreign buyers for driving the prices up back then. But how big of the real estate pie was actually being purchased by foreign buyers back then? And how much is being purchased by foreign buyers now? Well, we've never really seen any concrete numbers or data, but we've heard around 5% is foreign buyers. Again, we have no idea of the actual percentage. So now the federal government is proposing a 2-year ban on foreign buyers. And there's many exemptions of what a foreign buyer is, but generally this is an attempt to lower the demand on housing. So, will it work? We'll see. The foreign buyers tax here in BC certainly had an impact when it was first implemented back in 2016. Then there was a cooling off period immediately after once the announcement was made. But the market picked up, prices climbed up once again. So we'll see if a ban nationally actually makes a difference. Now, the government is also looking at a non-flipping and speculation tax. So this proposed measure would target anyone who buys and sells a home within a 12-month period, the majority of whom are home flippers. So, under these proposed guidelines, they would see all the profits taxed as business income, preventing some tax loopholes that have been abused in the past. So what does this mean? Well, this is telling renovators that they will have to wait a year to sell a home if they want to avoid paying more taxes. And therefore, it's potentially holding back some inventory to the market if a renovator can finish their work in less than a year. Now, if the government is trying to add supply, this measure might not work as planned. And hey, I'm no government policy expert. And I sure hope the brainiacs who thought up this policy are smarter than I am. And I hope that all the measures they implement work as desired. But sometimes policies don't work the way they are intended. So, we'll see. The government is also targeting assignment sales. Now, assignments, for those of you who do not know, it's the trading of real estate that has not yet been occupied. For example, let's say someone buys a brand new condo before it's even built when all there is a display center. That's called buying a pre-sale unit. The condo project isn't set to be complete for a couple of years, but during that time the real estate market takes off, prices rise, and the buyer of the condo decides to sell or assign the contract to another buyer for a higher price than they bought it for. Well, some people have legitimate reasons to sell their pre-sale unit to avoid paying taxes. The government believes a lot of people are selling assignments. They're looking at real estate as a commodity or a speculative investment. And they never intended on buying the unit as a place to live, but they would claim they would live there to avoid paying those taxes. Now, in an effort to crack down on those speculators, the government is planning on adding a tax on all assignments regardless of the reason for sale. Now, this new tax will definitely change the investor demand for pre-construction housing, as the new rule will make selling assignments less appealing. The result? More units available for those who are looking to live in and not speculate. This should be a good thing to help out the housing market, at least the supply. So finally, the government is also trying to assist first-time home buyers with a new initiative called the Tax-Free Home Savings Account. Sounds pretty familiar to the TFSA account that's been around for more than a decade, and there does seem to be a lot of similarities. Now, the great thing about this account is that it will help first-time buyers save for a down payment. Those who take advantage of this new savings account can save a total of up to $40,000, and there is a limit of $8,000 per year that you can contribute to your account. And people who take advantage of this account should also know that they won't be able to carry any unused contribution room like you can in your TFSA or your RRSPs. And for people buying a home together, each partner can have their own account. So overall, it's a pretty cool idea, as it does provide a tax-free way to save for your first home. And while it's helpful, it's important to remember that here in BC, with housing prices being so high, 40 grand doesn't go too far, and often it doesn't even cover the cost of a deposit. But it is an initiative to make housing more affordable. Well, the government says that the tax benefits will make it easier to get into the housing market. But most younger Canadians still haven't maxed out their own personal TFSAs and struggle to save for retirement. So will young people really be able to save in this account while still trying to save in those other accounts as well? I mean, hopefully. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm sure we're going to continue to hear about these measures in the coming weeks or so, and we'll do our best to keep you informed of these changes and how they might affect the real estate market. While we don't know how these proposals will change the market, we do know one thing: BC and Canadian real estate is never dull. I'm Greg. Thanks for watching.